How do you keep playing when your heart is shattered into pieces?
Here in heaven.
A son gone before his first birthday, a daughter taken in silence, a family legacy marred by tragedy.
Pro wrestler Fritz Von Erich has apparently taken his own life.
Prince, Mia Farrow, Fritz Von Erich. They had the world watching, yet nothing could shield them from heartbreak. This is All Famous People Who Lost a Child. They were just kids, asleep in their beds when the fire began. It was September 14th, 1968. Roy Orbison, the man with the haunting voice and dark sunglasses, was away on tour in the UK, performing to sold-out crowds. Back home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, his two young sons, Roy Jr., 10 and Anthony, 6, were tucked in for the night in their lakeside home. Their grandfather watched over them. A fire broke out, accidental, possibly sparked by a cigarette. Neighbors rushed to help. Flames lit the sky. Yet it was too late. Both boys perished in the blaze. Roy would later sift through the ashes himself, searching for their remains. This wasn't Orbison's first heartbreak. His wife Claudette had died in a motorcycle accident in 1966. Within just 2 years, he lost nearly everything he loved. He was born under a veil of hope and gone before the week was over. In 1996, Prince, an icon of mystery and musical genius, was on top of the world, newly married to Mate Garcia, his former backup dancer. Their love was electric, and soon they were expecting their first child. On October 16th, baby Amir, Arabic for Prince, entered the world. But something was wrong. Amir was born with Pfeiffer syndrome type 2, a rare genetic disorder causing his skull bones to fuse too early, leading to severe deformities and critical breathing problems. Prince and Matey clung to hope, holding him through surgeries and sleepless nights. But just 6 days later, their son passed away in their arms. Prince, usually guarded, was devastated. He never publicly spoke of Amir's death again. The nursery was sealed. Maite later said he wept silently, retreating into himself, the pain etched deep behind those purple shades. The loss forever changed him. March 20th, 1991. 4-year-old Connor Clapton, son of legendary guitarist Eric Clapton and actress Lori Del Santo, was playing in a New York high-rise apartment. Eric had come to spend a rare day with his son, a joyful break in the midst of custody arrangements. But in a single tragic moment, everything changed. A janitor had left a window open on the 53rd floor. No screen, no warning. Connor, curious and energetic, ran toward it, and in an instant he was gone, falling to the street below. Clapton, staying nearby, rushed to the scene, stunned, silent, broken. From that unimaginable grief came Tears in Heaven, a song that carried Clapton's pain into the world.
If I saw you in heaven.
Music offered solace to millions, but it could never bring Connor back. A melody for a boy who never got to grow up, forever remembered. Rest in peace. In October 2013, NFL star Adrian Peterson, at the height of his career, received a call no parent is ever prepared for. His 2-year-old son, Tyrese Robert Ruffin, whom Peterson had only just learned about weeks before, was in critical condition. Tyrese had been living in South Dakota with his mother and her boyfriend, Joseph Patterson. On October 9th, the toddler was rushed to the hospital with severe head injuries. Doctors said it looked as if he'd been shaken violently. Peterson met his son for the first time while he was dying, holding his hand, never hearing him speak. 2 days later, on October 11th, Tyrese died from brain trauma.
The 2-year-old son of Minnesota Vikings star Adrian Peterson has died.
Patterson, who insisted the child had choked on candy, was charged with murder. After a lengthy legal process, he was sentenced in 2015 to life in prison without parole. Mia Farrow, once Hollywood's emblem of golden innocence, opened her home to 14 children, many adopted, many with disabilities, from across the world. But behind the family portraits, heartbreak lingered.
Some sad news. We have learned Mia Farrow's son has been found dead inside his car in Connecticut.
First was Tam, her Vietnamese-born daughter. Diagnosed with a heart condition, Tam died in 2000 at just 17. The cause, heart failure, though rumors hinted at darker possibilities. Then, in 2016, her son Thaddeus, who was blind and paralyzed from polio, took his own life in Connecticut at the age of 27. The pain was compounded when in 2008, her daughter Lark, once vibrant, lost her battle with illness and addiction, succumbing to complications from AIDS at 35. Speculation swirled. Mia remained silent until 2021 when she finally spoke. My beloved daughter Tam passed away at 17 from an accidental prescription overdose related to the agonizing migraines she suffered and her heart ailment. These are unspeakable tragedies. Any other speculation about their deaths is to dishonor their lives and the lives of their children and loved ones. She added reassuringly, I am grateful to be the mother of 14 children who have blessed me with 16 grandchildren. Although we have known sorrow, our lives today are full of love and joy. Mia Farrow gave her children a home and carried a silence heavy with love and with a grief beyond words. Before the trial, before the glare of fame and infamy, O.J. Simpson was simply a young father in the 1970s, married to Marguerite Whitley, raising a family far from the headlines. But on August 18, 1979, tragedy struck. Their youngest daughter, Erin LaShawn Simpson, just weeks from her second birthday, slipped unnoticed into the backyard pool during a family gathering. By the time she was found, she was unresponsive. Paramedics rushed her to UCLA Medical Center, where she was placed on life support. For days, hope flickered with every shallow breath. But on August 26th, Erin was gone. She was quietly laid to rest, her passing overshadowed by the fame that would soon engulf the Simpson family. Just days after her funeral, O.J. was granted joint custody of his other children. Decades later, her name is rarely spoken. But for those who loved her, the silence she left behind remains deafening. What heartbreak hides behind a Hollywood legend's powerful performances? In March 1941, 2.5-year-old Christopher Anthony Quinn slipped away from his family's hillside home on Laughlin Park Drive. The toddler wandered across the street to comedian W.C. Fields' lush estate, where a shallow lily pond, scattered with model boats, glistened in the spring sun. Moments later, tragedy struck. Christopher fell into the water and drowned. His lifeless body was discovered on March 15th. He was buried at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Years later, playing Zorba the Greek forced Anthony Quinn to confront that grief on stage.
Let's go. Whoop.
He recalled, "I have never talked about my son's death, but every night doing the show I had to say, he's dead." The pain was so raw he tried cutting the line. Christopher's brief life left a shadow that deepened Quinn's performances, revealing the heart of a father who could never leave his sorrow behind. He smiled through the pain, and then the sky took him. Zen Cannon was only 5 months old, but in that brief time, he touched every heart around him. Born in June 2021 to Nick Cannon and Alyssa Scott, Zen seemed perfect, but by 2 months, his head began to swell. He grew quiet, too still. Doctors found a malignant brain tumor, a high-grade glioma, inoperable. Nick and Alyssa faced the impossible, choosing not to put Zen through chemotherapy's agony. "I didn't want him to suffer," Nick said. They chose life over illness, sunrises, music, water, love. On December 5th, after a sunrise at the beach with his parents, Zen took his last breath in Nick's arms. A father used to spotlights and stages, now holding his son as he slipped into silence. Nick Cannon has welcomed more children since, but every December, breeze carries Zen's memory. Some lights go out, but their warmth lingers forever. "6 sons, 5 funerals, 1 family curse." Fritz Von Erich, born Jack Adkisson, was a giant in professional wrestling, both in the ring and as a father building a wrestling dynasty. He trained his 6 sons to follow him, but tragedy struck again and again. The nightmare began in 1959, when 6-year-old Jack Jr. died from electrocution and drowning. In 1984, David, nicknamed the Yellow Rose of Texas, died mysteriously in Japan. The official cause was enteritis, but whispers of something darker persisted. 3 years later, Mike, crushed by illness and expectations, took his own life. In 1991, Chris, the youngest, ended his life after battling health issues and despair. Finally, in 1993, Carrie, the brightest star, fell to his own demons. They gave us music, movies, memories, and behind the spotlight, they suffered privately through every parent's greatest fear. It's a reminder. Grief doesn't discriminate. Even in mansions, hearts can break. Which of these stories hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments and honor these families by keeping their children's memories alive. If you found this video moving, please like, comment, and subscribe. We have more emotional and powerful stories on the way. Thank you for watching.